Well, medical bills are turning into a financial minefield. Actually, it's still, I think, the largest reason why people are going bankrupt because of medical bills. And nobody can ever understand a medical bill, how they do it, and it's such a hocus pocus system. I was listening to an author recently. Here's his new book that was really good. Never pay the bill first, and other ways to fight the healthcare system. And it's really a good book. Listening to him, and one of his best things is say, you could go to a small claims court and eliminate this stuff because they don't want to pay a lawyer $400 an hour to go and get $10,000 from you. And if they don't show up, you win. Bop, bop. And so that's one of the techniques, but it's really there's other help. But I want to tell you about how this person used the attorney general. Now, this is free legal help in your state capital. You have an attorney, that just fights for you for your rights in dealing with particularly organizations. So this fellow who went to the hospital, this was in the state of Washington, he had some jaw surgery done. And he had to go back and had the, and he 1 year it cost him $3,000. The next year he went, it's going to cost him $27,000. The same insurance, the same hospital, the same everything, and all of a sudden it cost him $20-some thousand more. Yeah, and so he started complaining to everybody. Nobody would do anything. Then he had contacted his attorney general. Okay. Now that's in your state capital, and I have a free listing. I'll put in the description a listing of really all the free legal places you could go in your state to fight bills, to get justice and everything. I mean, there's about 40 of them. So I have them a listing. I'll give you for free in the description below, and just download that report. And you find your state, and there's everything from even getting justice from an attorney who overbills you, or your contractor, or your anything. Your school, anybody that messes you over, there's somebody that regulates them, and you could use this free legal help, to get justice. The person who sold you the house, they're regulated. Everybody is, and they have more power over everybody. You stuff their store, your dry cleaner, all these people. A simple letter or an inquiry to have them investigate will get you a lot more than an attorney could even get you. So that's why he went to the attorney general, and he was able to reduce his bill by $20,000. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. So that's here. I mean, if you just accept the bill and do it, the fellow who wrote this book talks about you have to go actually through all the items and probably get it reduced. And he's not saying don't pay the bills. He's saying, boy, you got to look at these goddamn things. They don't know. They're bureaucrats. And here's the important thing too, is that his bill, the guy who had the jaw surgery, is 3 times more than if he came to the hospital and had no coverage. Got it? It's sort of like those airline seats. One guy's paying $5,000 and the other one's paying $500, or whatever, because of when and how they bought it. And the healthcare system the same way. It's not one, something is a certain price. No, they're all negotiated by all kind of carriers and everything like that. That's why I always ask for what is the price for if you have no insurance. And that's what you want to know, because with your deductions and everything like that, and copay, it's probably cheaper to do that. Yeah. But this, look at this story here, and I'll give you the link in the description, because it's an important lesson that we all have to know, and we have to take care of ourselves, because this healthcare system is such a monster. It's not going to be easily fixed. They're working on it. And little bits and pieces, are getting a little better. I mean, it seems like the health insurance companies and the people who buy, the companies who go to the health insurance people and get a plan, they negotiate. The customer who gets it It's not in the equation whatsoever. They're not the customer. See, it's those other two big conglomerates that are really they deal with each other, and so it's the little guy. Is the crumb. So you have to start protecting yourself. And one way is you get hired guns, and don't hire a lawyer because that's going to cost you $500 just to talk. You want to get the free stuff, and the free people are better because see they enforce laws that they make. See, they have laws in the state and the government and everything. So you get the people who write the laws and they enforce them. Lawyers just read the laws and enforce them for the government. There's offices in the government. You feel age discrimination or sexual discrimination. There's offices in the government sue these people and get you money. So why go to an attorney? So I mean, every case is different. So you have to know the details a little more, but learn your options. That's the whole thing about this. I'll say, what else do I have here? I forget. Oh, this is, who does some good research work is on options to pay for stuff is GoFundMe. They do things. I mean, they're always getting you to start a crowdfunding campaign to pay your bills. But what they do so nice on a lot of places is show you other sources. Like if you need to pay your bills, okay, they have a nice little list of how to negotiate your bills or other places to get money to pay your bills, and they sort of see them as a last resort. So whether you do a crowdfunding or not, that takes some. You really have to know a lot of people to get it, or have something sexy enough that the media will peek up. But what I like about GoFundMe is they have reports on your options for medical bill assistance when you're uninsured. Well, actually, even when you are insured, this guy's paying more because he's insured, not because he's not insured. So it all depends. And here's another interesting thing about taking to court, and that's what the author talks about too, is going to small claims court. Anybody could do that. You don't need a lawyer. So if you owe $5,000, and the problem with small claim courts is up to a limit. You can't sue for $100,000, but you can probably sue for $10,000, and that's meaningful to you, and it means peanuts to the insurance company, and it'll cost them $10,000 to show up in court, so they'd rather pay you off. And that's the trick of dealing with bureaucracy. See, that's why the government is such an important tool in you to deal with this complex system we live in, because the government's free, and the big corporations, everything afraid of the government because they can put them out of business. Your lawyer just gets money. So that's why the government's much more powerful in fighting some big corporation than any attorney. Well, I don't know if you see me around, but I've been studying government programs for 40 or 50 years. Man, I'm an old guy. But since the beginning, I always thought the government should have one place that we could find out what government programs will help us in our life. And what happens when the bureaucracy gets involved, they got all kinds of things going on, and they don't even see what they have is so important for many different things. And so that's what I feel I do. I take what the government says they have for free. I read it, find out, hey, how an individual could use that. And then put it in a format so the average person to use. Because, I mean, one of my favorite examples from the beginning was we have something called the Urban Homesteading Act. Well, I don't want to know about that. But when you read it, it's really houses for $1. So what I'm doing now, and have done for 40 years, is categorizing tens of thousands and thousands and thousands of programs into areas that you could really help, that really can help you in your daily life. So now in this new product I have, which is called Let'sGoReports.com, and I put them all into individual, categories that help you live a better life. And I'm charging only $5.95. See, I think they should be free, but I gotta keep doing this research. I gotta get paid. So I've categorized them so you could download them for $5.95 a piece. And there's one on bills, debt, and credit. So all the problems you have, paying your bills, getting out of debt, fixing up your credit, things like that, and there's thousands just for that.